Hey everybody, this is Travis Fritz. I get a chance to talk to you all about Fenestrum, which is our Czech Dark Lager. For the brewers here, there's a lot that Old Nation has been doing this spring of 2024. Probably this traditional series is the one we love the most, simply because it's the kind of beer we've been making for most of our lives. And the reason why that is because these beers represent a certain meaning for us in terms of places that we've been and how we came up drinking and brewing beer. So the Czech dark style, particularly, there are a number of dark styles in Central Europe. The Czech Republic is no exception with this. There's also Schwarzbier, black beer, that's a black lager that's made in Germany generally, which in modern times is more just kind of a Pilsner that's colored black. With some malt extract, still brewed by the Reinheitsgebot, but not a ton of flavor there necessarily. I would say that the Czech dark lager, for me, for my money, I guess, is the most it's the dark lager in continental Europe that best represents what that beer probably tasted like 100 years ago, 120, 130 years ago. Still some malt character, still some depth and darkness, roasty kind of flavors coming from the malt. Certainly not overbearing like you'd find in a porter or a stout. The point there is just to add some dimension to what is a clean drinking lager beer. So quite often in the Czech Republic, if you go to Prague or wherever you are, you'll find generally this is up to recently when craft beer has started to get into the Czech Republic as well. But certainly for a long, long time, you'd have essentially what's a Helles or a Pilsner, so a light lager, and then a dark lager, and that's what you could choose from. Light lager moves much faster than dark lager for breweries there, but breweries have always stuck with it because it is a great option, even in the summer, for a refreshing kind of change of pace from a Pilsner beer. So a lot of depth, a lot of kind of, again, that roasty, a little bit chocolate, maybe just a touch of coffee. That kind of sets off what you'd expect from the lager, which is a really clean, easy, kind of accessible beer with, again, just a little bit more depth. So certainly, if what you're looking for is a big beer with a ton of fruit in it or a lot of alcohol content or whatever, these beers won't suit you. But generally, for folks who've been drinking beer for a long time, the execution it takes, or brewing beer for a long time, the execution that it takes to make one of these beers is really what shines through. So more than kind of punching you in the nose with one particular flavor or another, or one particular kind of aspect of the beer or another, like most lagers, it's a process of trying to make a whole that is greater than the sum of its parts, while still being something that you can absolutely pay attention to and analyze if you wish, but don't need to if you don't. Which to me and to a lot of older brewers or brewers that have been doing it for a long time at least is kind of the soul of brewing and beer. So I'm very proud of this beer. The brewers here are very proud of this beer. We didn't make a lot of it. These beers don't usually do all that well on the market, but hopefully with the resurgence of interest from a lot of craft beer fans into lager, this is something that you can add into your experience of new lager beers coming out of breweries here in Michigan and elsewhere. And kind of put up against the rest and see how we stack up. We, again, have been making these kind of beers for about 20 years and think that Fenestrum particularly is a really great example of the style. So we hope you agree, and we'll be making more of these, so keep your eyes open, and please don't hesitate to let us know what you think. Thanks. Guys, I just got done recording the description of Fenestrum about 10 seconds ago, and I realized I didn't do anything to explain the name. So here it is. If you go to Prague, particularly seat of politics in the Czech Republic and that region, that Bohemian region, for a very long time, defenestration is a political tradition in the Czech Republic. You'll see sort of copper plates and wood cutouts and people talking about this practice of defenestration historically. What it is folks would take religious and political leaders on many different occasions in the Czech Republic, and when revolution was called for, they would throw these folks out of the window. We are certainly not sponsoring that folks do that, or any one or other particular politician or leader have that done to them, but certainly it is a big part of the Czech Republic as it is now and its history. and has always been a Central European apparent tradition that centers in that space around Prague. So Fenestrum means opening aperture or window. In Latin, defenestration means throwing something out of a window. That's why we called it that. Thanks.